start to be a lot more flexible. Um, yeah, so maybe we can like categorize different case and the approach for it. For example, for professional, then the process can be a bit faster, focus on more on number, versus for student or versus different cases of maturities. But yeah.
So for me, one thing I see is I want to help people close backdoor. Cause when I do MG1, around 80 to 90%, they are like, oh yeah, I want to do real estate, I want to do Bitcoin stock, and I want to address that. So people know the ugly fact of that. As well as my second thing is to help people dig their why. Because a lot of the time it's really general. I want to help my family. I want to be my own boss. I want to be financially free. But how can I dig to the deep why that really matter to them, not just the surface thing? But yeah, that's for me. Thank you.
So I guess to summarize or to symbolize what Vic said is to be able to identify the candidate's why and like to identify their needs and help them build that up or like help them realize that that is what they need.
So basically, why and backdoor.
Yeah, I think
Identify backdoor and
go ahead, Jennifer. Go ahead.
Okay. Also, yeah, what Vic and Riva were saying, and also like that level of being like friendly or that level of professionalism, like, do you need to balance that or make one more of the other in an MG1?
Yeah, I think when I'm seeking to understand, especially the new way we do MG1, is really looking to, of course, build a level of trust and rapport to the point where you can feedback them or gain enough trust. Like if, in this case, I'm not sure, actually, we haven't listened to it yet, but so suppose they are skeptical, right? How to be able to gain enough trust so that you can not argue with them, but show the plan in peace per se without, the over skepticism. That's kind of what I really want to learn, especially from this case.
Yeah, or we have other case before where they skeptical, they do their own research, they talk to other people without us knowing, or like from boyfriend, girlfriend, etc. So maybe the way we cover the primary influence or their ability to have the common sense is not there yet. So they still do a lot of things behind our back.
Do you, Lance? Okay. Anybody else?
For me, most of my MG1 comes from LinkedIn. So I want to work on how you can relate to people on LinkedIn. And for those people, they really career oriented and title oriented as well.
Okay. I have a question. So for when I do MG1, a lot of people who doesn't have experience, but they come in to learn more. So how do you build the why and show, build a why and see how this business can help them? And by the way, thank you, Tracy and Khan, for doing this MG1 dissecting, right? Thank you so much.
Do you have anything you want to share? Any concern when you live?
I don't know. I have questions in there.
Is so Gal say anything?
All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, I do Kim against.
Yeah. For me, like when I do MG1, I confused. Like I still want to improve a little bit. When I ask them about the qualifying question and if they have any objection, like not objection right away, but potential objection.
Is it hard to hear for everyone?
No, we can hear it.
Oh.
Okay, let me repeat it. So
I have a concern in that. Like when I do MG1, when I handle like when I ask them about the qualifying question, and if I have like some potential objection in the future, for example, if the candidate get too much appointment, sorry, get the opinion from the family so much, or about the like they don't have car, or some thing about condition, how can I cover about the objection better? Yeah. And also I have some problem is some candidate they pass the MT1, but then during the MT1 to the MT2, they don't communicate much. Yeah, so I have some concern is that if that possible, to solve today. Thank you.
So, all right,
Okay.
one last round. Anybody else left?
Hey, me.
Go ahead.
Mike is up there, the camera. Hello. So my concern is sometimes that I have MG1, right? And then the candidate, they hold the posture is really high, so they have like ego toward the processor. For example, if I say, so if I ask them some qualified question, for example, like, oh, so you're a biology major, so what make a biology student wanted to know more about business opportunity? Because I just wanted to know their why behind it. Then the candidate would be, oh, why a biology student cannot learn more. So when it comes to that, I don't know how to actually ask the question again in order for me to know the reason without repeating the question, or without like making them feel like I'm trying to ask them a lot of questions. Like if I said, oh, okay, so and if for me, last time I asked them all, so why did you decide to come to the meeting today? And they said, oh, I just wanted to learn more. And I asked them, oh, so what do you see that in my script that actually interested you? And they said, oh, I want to learn more about business opportunity. So it keeps circling around like that, and I couldn't get out of that and trying to know their why before I can evaluate them. So I know that they're not good attitude. So I kind of ended the MG1 there, but I wanted to learn how to handle it more professional.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it's very common these days. People don't know what they're doing and don't know why they're making the decision.
So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, anyone else? Or if you guys struggle with booking MG1, I don't know if it's allowed, but if Korean want to share, or anyone else.
He's laughing.
Because I know you network a lot these days, so I don't know if you have anything you want to share.
Yeah. Recently, with booking MG1, so let's say like after I get a contact or whatever, I guess to work on the follow up, like because some contacts that I get, they might, it's like they're interested, they're aware that I have a business, but then I guess the getting to the dropping the message part, you know, like with friendly contacts, like other ones, business contacts, I think they're pretty simple, but recently my networking has been a bit off. And so I've been really focusing on that. But I guess I got back into the loop of picking my networking back up and getting more contacts. And so, yeah, I guess just a follow up.
Like follow up after networking?
Yeah.
I see.
Like
We have
still,
a lot of interesting case later on. yeah, you shared to me the other day, but we definitely have to dissect into, the way that it's not about the way that you're networking, but more about the thinking, the mindset behind when you go out there and when you talk to people.
Mm.
Yours is a really interesting case. So maybe you can get like now, what is it that you're thinking when do you go networking, and bring up a couple of cases that I can
Kareem has no problems with skills or looks. He's very handsome. It's just his inner belief, his inner faith. Just needs some work.
I know those muscles would drag in anybody.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I,
Kareem knows it. It's just his inner faith. He doesn't know 100% why he's walking around in the first place. Why is he walking around talking to people? That's why people, even though you share with them a great DTM, they don't even catch anything or they don't even ask to move on, or they don't even initiate. Hey, how do I meet your mentor? You guys don't get those experiences because you're not excited. You're not excited about your life.
And get excited about life, guys. Yeah.
thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Thank you. Voices from above.
an inner voice that's speaking to you.
Alrighty. Anybody else want to share before we move on and get into the meeting today? No. Okay. Awesome. I don't know. Does anyone want to take it off?
Okay. Yeah, but okay, thank you everybody for sharing. I think you guys have kind of some main idea that is overlap too. And so I heard like handle skepticism, how to like posture yourself, or how to cover objection, how to keep a good balance between being friendly and being professional. So it's a lot of things. So I think when we hear from Christy case, some of the concern will be addressed too. So I think we can start with the MG1 Dissect first to see how she handled it, and then afterwards we can have like a Q&A to share your guys' observation towards the way she handled it and some of our inputs too. And yeah, and we're gonna also answer all your concerns too. So are you ready to share, Christy?
Yeah. Bro, this is nerve-wracking a little. Okay, let me pull up voice memos. So I have co-host.
Let's see. Do you have co-host?
Yes.
Is it the phone that's in the meeting?
Let me play it, and can you guys let me know if you guys can hear the computer audio?
Okay.
Yeah. But thank you, Christy,
Hello.
for doing this.
Okay. Awesome.
This takes a lot of courage.
Yeah, I wish you
I
the best.
know not a lot of us be able to re-listen to, what we've done.
Okay, I re-listened. Okay, I'm gonna play. Can you guys just let me know if you guys can hear the audio?
Best of luck on that, but definitely I understand. So are you
Yeah, we
originally
hear it.
from Austin too? Or
You guys can hear it? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll start from the beginning. Let me see.
How long is it?
An hour 45.
Man,
So
I'm even surprised that Christy had this issue.
part.
Do we have enough time?
do you want to just, is there a certain part you want to just go through
The meat, the filet mignon.
Is when you guys fight. You guys fight?
I think you can start with the deepening.
I mean, that's like from the beginning. So unless you guys just want to do deepening and then you want to skip the story because the story is long and then just straight to napkin plan.
Yeah, like at the end of the story part to see his response to your story.
Okay. So give me a couple moments to find that and I'll share my computer audio again. Is that okay with everyone?
And
Okay.
could you share
Everything is okay from Christy.
Could you
For
share
example-
his background and like what you
So-
got from him as well?
Yes.
Yeah,
Let me.
maybe we can play the beginning, deepening, and then.
You guys don't have to listen to podcast today. This is already 1 hour 45 minutes.
Successful story.
Yes, em.
So
Any way that you speed up the audio so like it's like 2 times fast?
Huh?
Let's hear Christy in chipmunk voice.
This is
Yeah, cut
this
through
is this is Christie's unsuccessful diamond success story.
This is the
Diamond
Unsuccess-
unsuccessful story.
Why don't-
Unsuccessful.
Okay, I feel like why don't we just go through certain parts of the framework that people are struggling with, and I can share that so they can have reference point and listen in, and whatever they feel they're confident in, like the story, then I can skip it. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Is there a way for you to edit playback? 2 times
Okay,
speed?
so we're gonna listen to the first part to see how the candidate attitude, and like 15-20 minutes you can skip the story and go
Okay.
next. Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
sounds
So essentially, I think the game plan, if I'm going to communicate this translate this for everybody, is we're going to listen to it, of course, and try to find a way to get the playback speed as fast as possible. 2 times, of course, but we'll skip over mundane parts like story. Like we just
I
listen.
don't think we can do 2 times. I think like Kimmy just shared like the deepening, so you guys can check the guy's attitude. I'll skip
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah, and then skip the story.
If I do it 2 times, I don't think it'll be audible.
Yeah. Okay, we can start.
You can start from the beginning, and any part that I feel like is really unnecessary, we can kind of fast it forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll share you guys a little bit background on this guy. His name is Daniel Camara. So he goes to Texas A&M, and I found this guy on LinkedIn. Right now he is 22, so he's finishing up his last semester, and so he's gonna go into workforce. But what else? He has some experience a little bit, and he's looking to be in corporate, like business analyst. But that's basically it for this guy. Yeah, so I would say from talking to him, when you see, I think this guy, he has experience in investing stocks a little bit. He's into day trading. He's tried to start up drop shipping businesses too. Those have not worked out for him. So, and he's read Rich Dad Poor Dad. So he's a little bit financially literate. But I would say for me, when I talk to this guy, maybe this guy has big talk, but not much experience in terms of life. So I'll go ahead and play the audio then.
Help me welcome Christy Vu on the stage.
Cô là cô. Woo.
That's gonna be it.
Okay, how do you like the class? Hello. Okay, awesome. Let's do it.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
How are you?
Yeah, can you hear me well too?
Yeah, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Christy?
I'm doing well. Do you have any plans for the day?
Just doing my project, just trying to finish that up before Sunday.
Oh, okay. What project can I ask?
Yeah, it's a financial planning project. So basically, I have to just create a financial plan for some sample clients from start to finish. And like we've been doing sections throughout the entire semester. Right now, I'm on the tax portion of it, so tax and estate. And yeah, once I'm finished these two, that's it for the project.
All right. It's for like an internship you're working for, or?
So this one's for a minor. This is going to be my capstone class.
Oh, okay. And you're taking it during the summer.
Yeah, just this capstone. Yeah, that's going to be it.
Okay. How do you like the classes so far then?
Man, it's been going pretty good. I really do like the financial planning route. It kind of taught me a lot, but honestly, I don't want to go too far into the field because I know that it's more sales based. So that's something that I kind of want to avoid in all honesty, but if it's something that I will have to go to in order to kind of secure some sort of job once I graduate, then so be it.
Yeah, I mean, why do you want to avoid sales? Like, why you don't want to go too far in?
I'm really like a technical person. I love dealing with numbers more than people. If I'm honest.
Okay.
That's just kind of my personality, but I've always been wired to go into like computer science, all that. But I just wanted to enable myself in the more business side of dealing with people.
Okay. I feel like if you're really into numbers though, in terms of business, I feel like every business you do, you have to deal with people anyway. So I don't know about that, but yeah.
That is true. I feel like there's a fine line between the two, and like that's mainly why I don't know if you saw my LinkedIn, but basically that's my main focus, to become a business analyst, because it really just combines the two fields together and just you're the mediator of the two.
Right.
So
Gotcha.
that's why I got such an interest for it.
Yeah.
I saw your company though, Truly Co. It's an e-commerce brand. What type of e-commerce do you do?
Yeah, I can definitely it's like we work in retail honestly, but I can definitely share more with you about it later on, because today it's gonna be casual, you know, but I see you're pretty dressed up, like I see the polo and everything, which is a good thing, because I met a lot of people and I guess they've never been on business meetings before, so they don't really know an etiquette like dressing up correctly, but I see you got that down, which is good. But today, even though we're here to talk about business, honestly, for me, I'm the type of person that I value friendship and trust before any kind of partnership, right? And honestly, we only just met on LinkedIn. So as much as I don't know you and I can be kind of skeptical too, I'm sure you're skeptical and you don't know anything about me either, right? So for me, I want to get to know who I'm working with first. So today is just kind of casual. So we just want to get to know each other and see if we're a right fit. And if everything goes well, then I can definitely share more with you about the opportunity. Yeah. So how does that sound with you? Okay, but you know, I just want to get to know you. So
Okay, so Aaron, because I don't know if the guy asked any question. You guys.
So I was just gonna comment along the way as the audio is going as
Okay.
notes. But if you guys want to stop here, I already noticed something that's wrong, and this actually affects the whole entire meeting. I probably can see why the guy was so stingy and gave Christy such a hard time, because from the get-go he asked you a question right
guess?
away. Is huh?
Can we guess what your thinking is?
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like when you kind of compliment them on like, hey, yeah, you came good dress code and all that kind of stuff, like all that kind of how do I say it kind of boosts them a little much. And you kind of lose a posture as a processor. But I'm not sure if that's
No,
what
that's fine.
but yeah.
I
Well,
think it's
that's a
because
good thought.
when he asked a question, instead of giving him a little bit of the answer, Christy said it right away. Oh, I just want to get to know you first.
Well, I think I can see what Aaron means too, because he asked a question and I answered, but I answered like 1-2 words. I didn't go too deep into it because my thinking is I'm gonna share it anyway later on. I don't know what you think, because I answered his question, but maybe it wasn't enough to satisfy his curiosity. I only answered like 1 or 2 words.
Correct. So rule of thumb, when anybody asks you anything, you have to give them some food, a little bit of it. Because if you swerve them, they're gonna feel like, oh, what are you hiding? Why don't you just tell me now? So I actually have to tell the candidate, if they ask me what it is, I will tell them, that's a great question. We partner with many brands and we help them with marketing by being a middleman, period. And I ask them, why do you ask? That will bring you back to being the driver. So Christy's mindset is that she'll answer later anyway. So why not swerve him now? So it's I'm just giving feedback, Christy, but that's something we can do different next time. That will help you guys have a better conversation, because if you don't answer his question now, I can already tell the whole conversation, he's just gonna be skeptical.
Okay.
He's gonna be annoying. I met people like that, and I wish that I answered the question early.
Yeah, so I just want to give a heads up, because when Christy have the courage to expose, you know, her process to everybody, I think it's a really big step for each of, you know, like if we have the courage to do, like it's not this courage that everybody has. So for me, I hope that everybody will not judge her the way that she do the process, because we in here to learn from each other, and we make
Yeah.
those mistakes too, right? And
Yep.
also to keep your heart and your mind open for feedback, you know, open for discussions, because we don't want to attack anybody, and we just don't feel comfortable if we have ego or we have sensitivity with words, because we come here with the intention to learn and to help each other to grow. Yeah. But one thing that I want to add on to what Aaron say is that the reason why this guy is so, you know, like he come in and ask about the info right away, because if you look at his background, like he want to become business analyst, right? He kind of like a number guy. I don't know if Chrissy already know the investing and the dropshipping experience before, but that shows that how this guy is really concerned about the logics of business rather than the values or the ethics behind it. So for these people, like logical people, you gotta appeal to the logic. So it's really hard to keep going if you don't satisfy them with something first. And especially with these people, they're super skeptical if you like trying to hide around or, you know, go around the bush, because they just need the number. They just need the logic. Yeah. Okay. I
Okay.
think keep going.
I have more. I have more feedback. Just from this part is super important for you guys, because the guy, remember he said his goal is business analyst, right? Christy?
Yes.
This means the guy, number one, he's not on the same page as us yet.
Right.
So now if we continue our framework of trying to posture him and talk to him about business partnership, he's not gonna swallow any of it. He's not gonna consume anything that we're gonna say next. So for me, where at this point where he asked you that question, it told me a lot of things about his character. This guy, he's trying to see if this is the right opportunity for him. Right there. And so I wanted to let you guys know your mindset is what? Your mindset has to be super clear. We are looking to expand our partnerships. What is he looking for? For a new job, to be honest. He told you very clearly that he's looking to more explore on the business side. That doesn't mean he's looking to start a business. And so this is a good chance for you to actually check his interest. This is actually part of the deepening. You got to check his interest by asking him, hey, my purpose of getting on this meeting with you today is to explain more about what we do, but also to expand more of my partnerships. And so I'm looking to potentially work with new business partners. And based on what you told me that your goal is into business analyst, outside of that career goal, do you still have an open mind to diversify your income? You still have an open mind to learn more about entrepreneurship? That's the way that I would go in this case. If the guy says yes, then I will continue on with the meeting. Because if I knew his purpose is the same as ours, then the rest of the MG1 would be natural. Okay, it would just be sharing story, sharing napkin plan, give the book. But if his why is solid on looking for a job, whatever happened after in the rest of the meeting, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes that actually saves your time.
So
And you guys get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for somebody who never understand, so a lot of the people who, you know, have business background, for example, they go to a business major or they are a business analyst, they tend to come to the business and think that they understand the whole thing, everything.
Like corporate, yeah.
So if you don't set the stage for them to understand that, hey, you never have a background on running a business before, then they will not humble down and open their mind to actually listen to you, because they think that the way that you run business is the same as the way that they think, like, that whatever they learned in school.
Mhm.
That's why Aaron share with you all of that, so that you can set the stage for that the person to be more aware that whatever they know in school doesn't help them to open or partner with us, right? Because what they learn is how to analyze a business. But what we want is we want to look for a partnership, somebody who open mind and more about how to run a business. It's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think where we stopped in the audio, she's about to set the stage. Is that right? She was about
Yeah.
to set this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let me hear how you set the stage.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I want to know, like, right now, where are you based in right now?
Right now I'm in Austin. So basically, this summer it's gonna be my last summer before I graduate, and these are 3 classes I need to take, and they're all online. So basically, I moved back home. I'm finally here for like from here on out, and I basically want to find a job that's located in Austin.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking for right now in terms of, like, I guess trying to look for any sort of tech company, because I know there's
You
a
guys
lot in
heard that?
Austin, a lot of different opportunity. And like just recently, I applied to McKinsey & Co. I don't know if you saw
Christy.
that a lot of UT alumni
Christy,
were applying.
can you pull back the audio a little bit where you were setting the stage for that 5 seconds?
Okay.
Super important. You guys think it's not important, but setting the stage, super important. Go back, please.
Back 15 seconds. So
Yeah. After he asked you the question and then you swerved him. I want to hear that part.
Right now, in terms of, like, I guess trying to look for any sort of tech company, because I know there's a lot in Austin, a lot of different opportunity. And like just recently, I applied to McKinsey & Co. I don't know if you saw that a lot of UT alumni were applying there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot just got business analyst position, so I immediately applied when I saw that.
I think not here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see where it kind of goes from there.
Yeah.
No. Continue.
Kimmy spoke up and said something. I'm not sure.
Kimmy said this is not the right place, but I think it's almost there.
Okay.
Just let it play.
So just to give a little bit more context. So the first time when you guys heard, that was not me setting the stage. I'm just there clarifying for him before I answer his question. I deepen a little bit more, then that's when I set the stage.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'll continue playing the audio.
Yeah.
Definitely. I know the job market is pretty tight and competitive these days.
Yeah.
So, I wish you the best of luck on that, but definitely I understand. So, are you originally from Austin too? Or where are you originally from?
I'm from Round Rock.
Oh, okay.
How about yourself, though?
So I'm also going to school in UT. You probably saw from my LinkedIn as well. But right now I'm actually in Anaheim right now in California. Have you been in California before?
No, I've not.
Really? Okay, but Anaheim is basically the city that Disneyland is in. So I'm living like 10-15 minutes away from Disneyland. So pretty close. But I'm just here for a business trip. So I've been in the office here in California for about a month, 2 months now. But I was born and raised in Houston. Yeah, so I go to school in Austin, but right now based in California right now.
Which part of Houston were you from?
I don't know if you know, like, the Woodlands area. Yeah, North Houston. You been in Houston before?
No, I haven't been there, but I know a lot of people who, like, for some reason, they love College Station. They love going to so I know a lot of people from Sugarland, the Woodlands, and the Port of Houston, Channelview.
Oh,
Smaller towns.
Gotcha.
But, no, I was wondering why you were in PST. Because you said you're in Cali, right?
Yeah, now you know.
Yeah. Now you've been sending me messages at 3 a.m. I'm like, huh?
Their California time is way earlier, so it wouldn't make sense why there would be a message at 3 a.m. if I sent it in Texas, but California, so that's pretty fun. But so right now, what are you currently a student at the same time? You say you're taking classes, so are you working as well, like anything part-time?
Unfortunately, I was not gonna be able to do any internship this summer because I'm taking 9 hours, but the 3 of those hours is the capstone. And my professor, he told me like, if I want to be doing the capstone, I cannot be working a job at the same time
Oh,
because
wow.
it does take probably like, I would say 15 hours a week out of my day.
Wow. Basically, almost like a part-time job.
Yeah, practically.
Yeah.
So like, maybe I could work part-time too, but I'd rather focus on applying in the same time.
Okay, gotcha.
Kind of investing time for like after I graduate.
Yeah. So what college are you going to then?
A&M. Oh,
A&M.
I got the flag over there.
Oh, okay. I see it now. My cousin, she goes to A&M. She goes for engineering because I know A&M is really good for engineering there.
I originally was an engineering student. I had to take. It was just one more class. It was calculus 2. I originally got a D in it when I first took it. I took it over at ACC, but unfortunately they didn't take any transfer for the program.
Oh wow.
So basically, I tried taking discrete mathematics to kind of replace that secondary math credit. That did not go too well because that one's for computer science.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, that didn't go too well, but I was really just trying to focus on kind of building my like the social aspect and networking aspect because I wasn't really much of a talker whenever I was an engineering student. Like student life after COVID was just not that. It was not it. And I know that you've probably experienced that yourself.
Yeah.
But basically, I kind of wanted to figure out different branches of business because I felt like that's where the money is really at. I feel like I can optimize that in every way, and I got really. It sounds cliche, but I got really into trading stocks, learning all about options, futures, and it's something I did on the side, and that's what got me into finance originally. So I ended up switching majors to business at A&M, and basically over there they taught me from finance to accounting, supply chain, and all that. It's been a blessing to kind of, I guess, learn every field there is.
Yeah.
But if I could do it again, I probably would have focused a little bit more on engineering. Maybe go into like industrial engineering, because that's basically a business side.
Yeah.
While also sticking to it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, how come like you say that though? Like, why would you go back and actually focus more on engineering?
Because I know that engineers do get a lot more respect in terms of job opportunity. Because when you kind of look into my major, right, it's what's the word? It's saturated. So it's just not. There's a way more competitive market when it comes to engineering, and being a computer science would have definitely been a plus too, because I know that one has a lot. I want to focus on becoming a data analyst too. So that's something I kind of focused on primarily whenever I started, but I think that industrial engineering just has such a broad focus that you could really go into any field, and they would accept you and respect you for that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what got you to switching from engineering to business then?
It really was just my interest in business. Like I said, I became really interested in the whole financial market, and not only that, real estate too, as well as e-commerce at the end. So that's why I kind of took an interest in what your business has to offer. But e-commerce to me, it's something that I tried myself a little bit, but I couldn't even get past the product testing. So that's why I just kind of dropped it overall. But it was originally drop shipping. It wasn't any sort of B2B or B2C.
Yeah.
Or legitimate B2C. Because eventually I do want to make my own e-commerce brand. Find a good manufacturer, good supplier. But I don't know where to start even.
Man.
With that.
Pause here. Pause
Hearing
here.
your story reminds me a lot of myself.
Pause. Okay. Christy, go ahead.
No, nothing. I'm here. We stopped it. But
Oh, okay.
kind of the part
But
2 where it got me.
What did you feel? Yeah.
I'm a little confused because in the beginning I'm like, okay, this guy seems like he's looking for corporate jobs. So then we just deepen a little bit to see more clearly. And then when I set the station, I know like I can say bye to him. So I was expecting 20 minutes at this meeting, but when he shared a little more, okay, I'm actually doing day trading. So I want to know why he's doing stocks investing outside of his major already. So I asked him why he started from engineering and why he stopped engineering, then why he switched to business. And now he's sharing, oh yeah, I actually want to get into real estate. I tried drop shipping and I want to have my own e-commerce brand. And like now he said that he's trying to find a good manufacturer, but he doesn't know where to start. So when I caught that hint, maybe I got a little too excited. So maybe that's my scarcity mindset. But then
That's
when
correct.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
maybe the guy, he may be open to this because maybe this is something that,
Yeah.
you know, maybe fit for him, but I'm not sure yet. So that
Yeah.
was
Yep. There's a few lessons in here. There's a few lessons that I will tell you guys later. But I want to say thank you as an upline to Christy too. This is a very good. It's a very standard case that you guys will meet very, very often, especially with Americans. They're gonna talk to you guys just like this. I met hundreds of people like this. I know how to deal with them. And Christy brought it up for you guys. You guys are very lucky tonight. So in order for us to fully effective learn from this, I'm gonna have an exercise for you. After you guys heard what that guy said, imagine you are in Christy's spot. I want to hear from each person in here. What would you do or plan to say next? Yeah, let's use your brain now. Even Kana as well. If you guys were in Christy's spot, that guy spilled every single career you can think of and every career you can search on Google. The guy said, I basically want to do everything. But in the end, I'm planning to have my own startup. I had my own startup before. I messed up. I didn't know how to continue after the product manufacturing. And now I'm still looking. Okay, see? So right there. I wonder what you guys gonna react and do next. Okay, so go ahead. Tracy, Pupe, Reba, Jennifer, Zaria. It was a great exercise for you guys. I know a lot of you guys will be jumpy and you guys gonna do something wrong at this point with this guy.
For me, I would ask him why it didn't work out for him. Did anybody help him as he started his business or as he started the side hustle? Yeah, so and from there I could share more about how I start my business with mentorship.
Okay, next person.
okay. Zaria's going.
So I would ask him like 2 questions. The first one would have been same one as Reba. Why exactly did he feel like he wasn't able to succeed in one of those areas that he was trying out? But also considering that he tried so many options, I want to also figure out where was his end goal with any of it, like where his motivation actually was, because it seems like he's kind of just like dipping into like multiple pools. So I want to figure out like what was his like, what do you really want? Yeah.
So
Okay, Charm speaking now.
So for me, I used to have someone who want to run business. Okay, he want to run business. So and he run a started clothing business as well. So I will ask him like, so what makes you want to redo again? Like want to start your own business? You want to do short, like quick cash, or what are you looking into? You know, like running, like or building a long-term assets, a long-term business. Passive income in general.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, this is Kimmy. So for me, I see that he used to do a lot of things and he used to fail. So I want to ask him a question that, so what is the common mistake that he see that he missing in the past when he like wait let me say again. So what is the common mistake that he think he make in the past and what is his lesson from that? Because I asked him the question because I think for me, from my side, I think that he lack of something called guidance, but maybe he don't realize that yet. Yeah.
This is Tracy. So for me, I think I'll ask similar to Zaria, like after why he doing so much, what he's trying to achieve, or what is his end goal, or what he's looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, because there have to be a goal that he, seeking for. Because trying to like try out so many things. Like what is that exactly? He's doesn't know what is it that he's seeking for. That's I feel like that's the reason why he keep doing many other things, try to find an easiest one to do or something. So I would really want to see, okay, what is the mindset? Why did he decide to do all of this? Like, every of the career, he stepped his stone, he stepped 1 feet in, 1 feet out like that.
Yeah, and I have a concern. If I think from my side, if I am like him, I'm gonna think that if I try, like if you try many things and it doesn't work out for you already, so what makes you confident that the next thing you try is gonna work? But I'm gonna ask, I'm not gonna ask him straightforward like that, but I'm gonna ask him about what he has common mistake in the past, and how do you know how does he know that the next thing that he do is gonna work out? Yeah, I just want to see from his
Okay.
side if he need me.
Do people still want to go? Anyone still want to talk?
Carla here. Carla and he.
Oh, Carla? Carla, you have ideas? Oh, just kidding, bro. Just kidding.
Okay. For me, I think I'm very curious to know what's not being fulfilled within him, because after going through so many different career paths, and he's still looking for something. And even now that he's already 24, 22, he's still pursuing that career path he's on, but he's still thinking of more. So I want to know what's not being met, or what does he really need, or what's he looking for. And from there, I think I would share exactly how I feel like I'm on the right path, and why does he keep being unsure, and he keeps changing. Like, I don't understand why somebody is going through so many things over and over again, and he's still repeating it. And exactly what is he looking for now? Like, what's different now, and why is it that this opportunity could help him at the end? I'm not sure based off right now, because he's just like all over the place. So I want to see that first. Then I'll share how I've been helped, like the guidance of it, not just the guidance, but besides business, because he's really looking into something for his career and to benefit himself. So I want to learn from there. That's it.
For me, it's similar to everyone here. So I would try to understand like what he needs, because it seems like him being all over the place. Like he tried many different things. But after I understand his need, that I'll ask him like what did he like, what it cost, like what he think it cost for his failure, like not failure, but like his unsuccessful for the other option that he choose. And I might connect it with my own story, like how I wanted to start my startup. I didn't know like restaurant and stuff, and I didn't know how to do it. I didn't have anybody to guide me, and I just connected with mentorship and how it actually helped me from a person who I didn't know anything, or who couldn't do anything, like a owner, to the person who have more like a skill, or then more successful, and then have more purpose in life based on the need that he shared.
Oh, I'm Erin. Could you guys hear me?
What?
So, but for me, if I was in Christy's position, this is my thought process. It's kind of like I'm assuming, but I don't know, is it the right mindset to go with? But for this guy, he seems like he really title focused and job focused. So I could see that the reason why he's trying to do all of this is because he wants title. That's how success is to him, is to make a lot of money, to have that big title. So that's why he tried drop shippings or all kind of, business outside that we all knew, or like known to make quick money right away, quick and a lot of money right away. So that's why he's been trying all of that. So that's how I evaluate him. But I don't know if is that right or wrong.
I didn't think about that. We don't know that yet.
Mm.
We don't
Aaron,
know that yet.
I want to add something. Because for me, I have like similar case. They want a lot of things, and for me, I do similar thing. I also relate to my personal experience. I say, oh, I'm also like you. I have background in business. My family run a business, so I thought it's gonna be easy. But when I actually do it, I got stuck. So that's why I go to like entrepreneurship workshop, and I see people who like real life successful, and that's how I pursue them. But that's for me, how I'm gonna answer. But yeah, want to know your
Okay. Okay, I think that's enough answers. I'm gonna show you guys a simple way to deal with this. It's very duplicatable. You guys listen carefully. In the future MG1s that you guys have, it doesn't matter what the heck the candidate says. I don't care how sharp they act, how much they try to impress you, or what they say. I don't really care. Whatever they told you, just like this guy, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Part of the MG1 framework, the part of deepening leading to your story, there's one important question that I always ask the candidate. What's your ultimate goal that you're trying to achieve in your life? What kind of lifestyle do you want in the next 5, 10, 20 years? Because I'm not sure why you're looking for an opportunity to build wealth, to build business. Business is a very unique industry that not a lot of people are fit to do. And you have tried to start a startup. You've tried many ventures, but it didn't work out. And maybe you didn't have the right guidance, but that's not the important thing. As a friend, as someone that just met you, I'm just curious. What's your ultimate goal? Do you know what an ultimate goal is? An ultimate goal is something that you achieve and you're happy with it when you die. After you pass away, you're still happy. What is that ultimate goal? This question and what I just told you is how you become the driver, how you get the upper hand on a candidate, no matter what profession they have, no matter what, if they have PhD or they're JVU, I will always get the upper hand that I am the driver, because they're going to tell you things like, oh, I just want money, or oh, I don't know. So I tell them, hey, I appreciate you sharing with me that and your thoughts. But for me, personally, I want to build business because number one, I didn't want to work forever. I appreciate my schooling. I appreciate my education that my parents gave me. I appreciate my degree, but I don't see myself working 50 years. I have bigger goals. I want to travel. I want to have a family. And I notice a lot of things happening in the economy, in the politics, in the news, in the country. A lot of things affected people's career. For example, COVID-19, recession, market crashes. And I don't want to be part of that statistic. So I wanted to start a business, even though I already have my path going to UT Austin is to business admin or whatever that is. I wanted to start a business because I want to have a backup plan in my 20s.
Aaron, I'm joining meeting in here. So you can come here. We join from one device.
It's okay.
Okay. Just
Okay,
say.
so I wanted to have I want to have my own business as a backup financial plan in my 20s. I also have goal of buying home before I'm 30 and also be retired by then. And retired to me doesn't mean being old at the nursing center. My definition of being retired is I control my economy when I sleep money still coming in, and I don't have to sacrifice my time going to work to get a paycheck. I did that already, and it was not a great experience for me. And some people do prefer to work because it's a secure path. That's okay. But for me, I prefer not to do that. And I will tell you right now, I'm not really fond of business. I never really liked business. But I do business because of what it gives me. It gives me the freedom of time. Because if I'm traveling, I don't want to travel for only 2 weeks a year. I want to have to travel whenever I want. Also, when I'm building my family or building my relationships and my social life, I don't want to go around and keep looking at the price tag. I want to enjoy what the world offers in each country with my friends without the price tag. Business allows me to do that. And business, I can tell you, is hard. Yes, it's hard, but I want to put in the work early, in my early 20s, so that the rest of my 3 decades of my life, I'm a human being. And so that's my story, guys. That's what I tell the candidate. That's my whole entire why. I built the guy's why right there. And that totally put me on top of him. Whatever ego he has, whatever attitude he has, he's gonna shut up. Because my why is super powerful. And that's why, Christy, and all you guys that get candidates like this, you guys always had the opportunity to put yourself on the upper hand, but you guys don't know your why. You guys don't know your why. That's why people keep driving you around. And when you don't know your why, you will not be able to challenge them or to test them and ask them with confidence, what's their ultimate goal? People can know if you know what you're doing. People know if you know where you're heading. So in order to get that part down, you guys gotta know your why so deep. And just because of that, the rest of the MG1 is gonna be so natural. I'm telling you. The rest of MG1, whatever you tell them in your story or about napkin plan, they're gonna listen. But if you don't take the upper hand and you don't get a clear answer of why they're looking into new opportunities, what business can do for them, they're going to be skeptical for no reason. They're going to be skeptical of the what, how the business works, how do you sell products, how do you bring people in, all this stuff. So did you guys get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the thing that I wanted to share if I was in your spot, Christy. And that's actually part of the framework. I just want to extend you guys my way of explaining the why. Why opportunity? Why business?
How are you be able to develop your why, Aaron? Because I feel like a lot of us, we haven't have a long-term why, or our why is not clear, and that's the reason why we're having a hard time you know, be confident, or just explain about that to the candidate.
Because you guys haven't gone real counseling before. I think anyone that does not really know their why, they haven't really sat down to game plan about their life with their upline, sharing about dreams and goals. I share with Ali my dreams and goals in the next few years, when to get married, when to buy a house, what car to buy, how I want to be as a dad. I have those dreams in my mind and I imagine those things
Wait,
already, but
wait,
that's something that you guys, I'm not sure if people do that, but that's what helped me to
okay.
know my why.
So let's drive back a little bit, right? So if you talk about, being able to create your own why. So whatever Aaron shared earlier, you don't have to
Exactly like that. You don't have to.
You don't have to have like, because most of you guys are single.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even have the urge to want to be a mom or a dad, so don't even worry about it. But the best way that you can create, or you can, that is a stab. Stab what? Stab in the back?
This is so true. I'm
What?
playing. Can you
What did I
continue?
say?
I was single.
No, but anyways, you know, uh,
I think one of the best ways for you guys to do process effectively is reprocess yourself. Look at yourself as a candidate or as an IBO. Are you truly, if you had a chance to launch someone like you right now, would you launch them?
so here's the thing, right? Who here like to have the lifestyle of your parents right now, or the people around you right now? You do not, right? So what do you not want from your parents, or from your uncle, or from the people who you know around? Can you write them down? Can you avoid, like, if you do not want it, then you might not know what you want, right? But you must know what you do not want. And the best way is you're looking at what you do not want, and you look from it. It's like doing a contrast. So it's like something that opposite to it. If you start going to work, you don't like the feeling of it, you can talk about what you don't like about going to work, what implication it creates for you. Or you can talk about traveling. Have you ever really dreamed that big? For example, is any places you want to go, for how long? You must be able to tackle those lists down, because if you don't have them, there's ain't no way you're gonna go through a process and talk about why. So you must be able to have those lists down and write down the why, the top 5 things that you want the most. What's your ultimate goal? What's the top 5 things? When I go to do like MG, or I do follow-up, I always talk about the top 5 things. So first is I want to free myself. Okay, that one I finished. Second of all is now talking about free my mom and free Aaron, right? And then later on, I talk about being able to pay for my brother's tuition. So all kinds of small little stuff like that. And that is something tangible. How about something intangible? Do you have anybody that you want to make them proud? So you can cover all of that. Is there any? So I want to make my grandpa proud, and I set a deadline to it. And then you can talk to something about paying it forward, or you can talk about creating your own house, or so on, those small little stuff like that.
Be creative.
Yeah, be creative. What car do you want? What house do you want? And set a deadline to it. Guys, these are the things we've been talking about. But you guys are so lazy to sit down, spend some time, truly ask yourself what you wanted. And if you cannot do that, then how can you be able to walk somebody through the process and you talk passionately about your motivation, because you are not even sold out to your own dream? Who will be sold out to yours? You don't need to have a very solid why. You don't need it.
They just want to hear your confidence.
Yeah, it's more about conviction. Or even when you go to MG1, can you talk about how much the mentorship been able to impact you? What skills you've been able to acquire or develop? All kinds of stuff like that. What you've been changing? What's your testimony?
So when this candidate is listening to you, this is what they're thinking. This is what they're looking for. Are you happy with the opportunity you have in your hand right now?
Wait, do they hear? Do you guys hear Aaron from my side?
Yeah, we can.
Oh,
They're separate.
So the psychology of the candidate is they're wondering. They want to hear when you're sharing your why, this is what they're trying to think. They're trying to observe. Are you happy with what you're doing right now? Is this something that you're super proud of? Because they want to look for something that is very passionate, you know? They're looking for their next passion. So they want to see it through you. You're going to be the testimony when you share about your why.
you don't have to like.
It doesn't have to be super detailed like mine, but it's coming from your tone.
So for MG1, technically you have to be able to talk about ugly fact too. So raise the awareness for them. So you talk about having a plan B beside plan A, on top of the plan A. So what's their plan A? Go to school, graduate, get a job. What if those plans don't work? And all of that, it need to be told in your story.
Really, for logical guys that are numbers, sometimes we have to lay it out too. Remember how when we draw for Hien,
I draw for everyone.
A to B,
Yeah.
and then what is the thing that they're gonna get for sure?
Yeah.
The house, this payment, this car. We're gonna see how much does it really cost. We're gonna break it down. Okay, for the next 5 years, with what you're doing right now, is it really enough?
Mhm.
Sometimes logical people need logical explanation.
Yeah.
We have to lay out, dude, if you work at your job, working $50 an hour, 50 hours a week, is it really enough? Plus taxes, plus baby, plus wife, how are you gonna afford that dream? So it makes sense for them. Oh, I never saw like that. I really need to diversify.
Yeah, talk to them a little bit. You always need to go to collect those ugly facts. For example, employees being let go from big company like Microsoft, Google. Do you have those informations in hand? Relatability. Most of the young people, they go into the process because of what? Experience.
Yeah.
Because of looking for more skills to improve themselves, to raise their confidence. And then, but for some people, they've been in, they've been working or corporate world, whatever. Now they look for money. Can you show them this is the possibility for them to diversify income? Is it a good spare plan? Instead of just talking to them about like doing things, passion or whatever. Are you ahead of them by a couple steps? That's what they will look into. Okay. Do you want to keep listening to it?
I think that's good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw that yellow pants.
Nãy có mở đâu, giờ mới mở mới nói nè.
Yeah.
Not flower paint.
No, it's liquor pants.
Oh, send it to Wesley.
Yeah, send it to Wesley.
You
loves
can
it.
No, you send me.
Why send it to Wesley?
Aaron going to play basketball. Wait.
Mệt quá.
But you guys got us? You guys understood us?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you were.
It was great.
Thank you. And thank you, Christy, for sharing your MG1.
Is it already done for the MG1? I don't think so, right?
No.
We only 10 minutes into the MG1.
We still have 1 hour 30 minutes left.
Awesome. Woo.
Yeah.
Aw.
Okay, so does that help, Christy? I don't know, because I think in the beginning we can prevent what happened afterwards already, but I don't know on your side, like you wanna dissect how you handle the case too, or already
Okay.
know how to handle it next
I want to know if
time.
it helps Christy.
Sorry?
I want to know if you understood and got something from it.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm thinking right now because there's still some things I know that I need work on. Like, so we haven't gotten to. I think, is it all right if we listen a little bit more because kind of.
We're asking to listen to more right now.
Gotcha.
So I'm asking. So we paused at a part where he was like, sharing how he did all of this. So I just want to hear feedback about how I handled it as well and kind of getting more to setting the stage and a little bit about his why. So that's still the part that I need clarity on. And then the story, we can skip to save time. And then towards the end, the napkin plan, I think that's the part where I need a lot of improvement on. So does that sound like a good agenda so far?
Right.
Okay. Then I'll continue playing and yeah.
Because I started drop shipping too, and it didn't work out. So me and a couple.
By the way, just a disclaimer, the story that I share from my point of view is kind of fluff because I'm trying to relate to the guy. And it's also stories that I collect from people too. So it's a little bit fluff, but just disclaimer as well. I have like a point or intention that I'm trying to share to the candidate.
Dang, was this a real scam?
Yeah, I am really scamming people. Oh my god, wait, what? Wow.
Friends, we were starting drop shipping, but then when it came down to the deal.
Oh yeah, this is Lily's story, by the way. So I just took your story. Just want to let you know if it sounds a little too familiar for you.
Oh my God, is that the open the shoe store with DK?
I don't remember, but her and her friends started some drop shipping and they couldn't do it because it costed like $3 grand or something like that.
Oh yeah. Christy, I've been using the same thing too.
Identity theft is not legal, Christy.
Hey, somebody also just said they do it too. So industry.
Oh, someone's being outside the house looking for Christy.
Yeah. Actually, this see, I like we got 2 witnesses that they do the same thing. That's 3 people already. All right, I'm playing it.
It was like we needed $3 grand or $5 grand around that time. And as a college student, I don't really have extra $5 grand laying around, you know, to start up my business. So I realized, like, honestly, starting up your own business requires a lot of not only expertise and a lot of experience, but you also need a lot of capital as well. So.
Absolutely. Was the capital all for advertisements? Or what?
No, not even. That was just like a fraction of it, to be honest. So it's really crazy. But I can really relate to that part as well. And I'm kind of curious now because if that didn't end up working out for you, and then now you kind of like it's pretty set. It sounds like you kind of know like you want to be a business analyst too. I mean, what are your plans after graduation? Because after the summer, you're pretty done. You have any goals or ambitions for post-grad?
Yeah, so I actually applied for UT data analyst masters.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it, unfortunately. I got the news like back I think it was last month.
Mhm.
I might try again though. The application does close the end of July for the for early admissions, but kind of based on that, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna end up pursuing that again. But in the case that I do, I only plan on having it as a part time, so taking like one class a semester, and it's only a total of 10 classes.
Mhm.
So I'll be probably finished within the next 3 to 4 years.
I mean, do you have any goals outside of school or career that you share with me? Like, I mean, once you get those done, then what are your plans afterwards then?
And it's really just getting rich. Like, sounds straightforward, but honestly, like, I have such a fascination for the markets. Really, like, you know how much I practice every day trading futures and options, and I don't, any money that I lose, I don't.
Wait, before I keep playing, I just wanted to ask if there was like any leader that's also listening to give me feedback, because I'm not sure if there was anyone, because I know Khan and Tracy were supposed to dissect, but I don't know if they're still there to listen in and dissect.
I'm here.
Okay, just making sure.
They're just running around, so I don't want it to be distracted. To prep to go to gym.
Okay. As long as there's just someone listening in, because I didn't want to just keep playing it if I wasn't going to get any feedback as well.
I'm trying to inspire Victoria again.
The yellow one look nice, Aaron.
It's too short.
It's too short. If I jump a little bit, people might see
I see you like.
Yeah.
I see some nuts.
Just say something. Oh.
Okay, I'll continue playing.
I regret it at the end of the day. Like, I like taking that risk because to me, it works. It works, and it's kind of like I'm just trying to test my theory. It probably is safer to do like paper trading, but I don't know. I just like the full immersive feeling of being able to practice in a legitimate way.
Why do you want to get rich though? I feel like a lot of people say they want to get rich, but then I think everyone wants to get rich for different reasons. What's for yourself?
It really sounds like unspecial in a way because, everybody had the same exact plan when COVID started, for example, right? Everybody was getting into the exact same thing I was getting into. Everybody had the same ambition of financial freedom, being able to, reading, what is the book? I guess Subtle Ways Not Giving a fuck. But basically it kind of teaches you the idea that, you want to have fucking money. You want to have money that you can kind of grow, that can grow itself. And that's something that I really just want to incorporate into my life, being able to pursue my own personal interests, right? My personality. Have you ever heard of personality types?
Yeah.
You know how like INTPs are?
Yeah.
So like I'm an INTP myself. So like I love theorizing about things. I love philosophizing. I love making I aspire to make my own book, to make just to keep thinking and keep exploring the world in every way that I can. And in order to do that, I can't really be that grounded just one task for the rest of my life, right? The next 40 years down the line, I don't want to be working a 9-to-5 day job, and that's something that everybody wants for themselves, but at the end, nobody knows what they want after that, right?
Yeah.
And so that's something that I aspire to find out myself. That it's a really big goal just to kind of find what is your passion and pursue it after it all.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just something that's my focus. I really just want to gain financial freedom for that specific reason.
Gotcha.
Just be able to explore the world.
Yeah. So for you really just want to find what you're passionate about, right? And
absolutely.
Okay, I got you. Cause I think hearing like maybe your why, your reasoning, it reminds me a lot of how I got started and why I wanted to do entrepreneurship to be.
Okay, so that's just before I shared the story, but he already shared a big chunk of financial freedom, want to get rich, blah, 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 blah. So I can skip the story.
walk us
No,
through?
I need you
like,
to tell your story. I need you to tell your story. So, because for me, when I listen to how he talk about, oh, he started his business and it didn't go anywhere, and he want financial independence, blah 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 blah.
But he wants a job though.
Huh?
He's like, I don't want to work 9 to 5, but I want a job.
Did he say that?
He's looking for a job.
Is he done?
Clearly, that's why he's disqualified. So
He doesn't understand what it means by having a job and running a business, and he confused because he's a business analyst.
Okay. But I want you to play your story, so then I can.
okay.
You.
Be honest. So actually, before I kind of want to share more, actually I'm kind of curious too at the same time, like what got you really interested in doing trading in stocks or starting your own dropshipping or e-commerce? Because I feel like a lot of people actually, like in college, they don't really think about doing those things just because it's like you want to focus on school right now. But then you have like couple of people that want to start something on the side, like a side hustle. So what was it for you that got you into those e-commerce or dropshipping or, you know, trading stocks, investing?
So one of my philosophies that I kind of like, I've thought about this for the past 3 years. It really is just the idea that money is infinite. Money does not have a cap in any way, right? You can make it a cap if you kind of, I guess, enslave yourself to 9 to 5 work for the rest of your life, but you've got to you can also think broader than that, think more than that. So it is really worthwhile just to find something that you can marginalize. So being able to create some sort of business, that's the way to go. And I'm not talking about like small businesses either, like a small mom and pop restaurant. You know, sometimes that could work too, but that's, you know, really high risk for very low reward.
Yeah.
So you gotta find something that has the lowest risk imaginable. So that's why I like trading derivatives, because with those instruments, you know, it's something that you can marginalize on a factor of 100 to 1. It's crazy. It is crazy how much you can leverage your money with those instruments. And dropshipping is just one of those same instruments, right? It's a low risk factor because you don't have to actually pay for the stock itself.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of took a focus on those, because, you know, really it's just high leverage.
What product did he do?
That's awesome. And
what product did he say?
I didn't ask him what product.
Okay. Here. So if you guys want to do MG with a business owner and you want to make sure they will tune in and they will have respect for you, make sure you know about their business. So the more information you can get out of it, the more you can cover in your story. And so after they give you the information, right? You ask them. You need to be able to interact back. You need to be more interactive. Like, oh, okay, that's good. And if you relate with them, and you be like, oh, what product you do? And they say, oh, da 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 da. It's like, oh, okay, you know, I do for clothing industry too. How did it turn out for you? Oh, so they will talk about, oh, it didn't turn out so well because the product failed, all kind of things, right? Like, yeah, I understand, or I feel you, right? And then now it's the time after you find out why the business failed or it didn't make it. It's time for you to tell them the reason why they didn't succeed or what they need to make it in e-commerce or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you guys need to study. For example, if you want a business to succeed, what requirement does it need? So for me, I think usually I tell this all the time in people when I do MG1 or MG2 with people, right? Experience, expertise, and capital. But when did he start his business? Don't know, right? Do we know? Or we don't know? No. So if you can find out that part, usually what people lack, it can be all, or some people they lack experience, some people they lack expertise, or some people they lack capital. But capital is the easiest problem to solve because they can take loan. But so many times, business owners, they will not be able to succeed because they lack expertise and experience. Expertise means the knowledge you know in that one area, the certified knowledge in that one area. It's called expertise. Experience is life experience in terms of hands-on. Right? How much you know in that field for how long. And when they don't have this, then they need mentorship. But the reason why people fail is because they don't have mentorship. They don't have the proper way to run business. That's why they fail. So there's so many times I was wondering, what is the stats of business? Like, for example, what is the percentage of new businesses closed down every year? And in B21C, they talk about it, right? And or you can search it up. That's why after every MG1, you shouldn't just, go straight with, not doing anything. But for me, after I catch the information, I always go and, for example, can somebody give me share screen, or can I do it?
Okay, give Next Gen's co-host, please.
You can share screen.
I cannot.
Oh.
I can. Okay, I can. Christy, you keep whatever that you've been doing, right? You keep track of it, right? Okay. Give me a second. Okay. Here. If you want to solidify your process, and this is what I usually do. When you were in the MG2 earlier, right? You must collect all facts to talk to your candidate to make sure they don't say you make things up. So, stat of new businesses closed down in California. So when you look at this, you can go around and you can search, right? You will be able to find out a whole bunch. So you look at all this. So these articles, it should be able to help you. And now you can search up why do small business fall? See, financing hurdles. And then inadequate management, and then ineffective business planning. So this is part of expertise or experience, right? And mishaps. So you look at all of this, it ties down to what I just talked about. But I need you guys to go and look these things up. And when you can be able to do all of this, that's how you're going to be able to solidify your MG1. Nobody taught me this. Nobody. Don't just listen to people's story and accept it. So you should be able to go and look at it. Okay, so they have bundles. You see, it varies. That's why people say it low cost. This is Fiverr. Okay, Shopify. Look, bring your ideas to life for $1 per month. Start free trial. So you should go and browse all of this. I'm just starting. Try all of this so then you can find out how much it really costs. And then now you will be very confident going to the story and you talk about it. Because if you don't have all of these information, this is why you stumble in MG1. And if you want to talk more about economic, right? Here, you should search about retirement plan age in California. Look, I was not wrong. Winnet, remember?
Yeah.
Yep. This is not golf, by the way. So it's definitely 100% legit. 1960 or later, full retirement benefits are payable at 67. When you have all of these facts in hand, there ain't no way your MG1 is not legit, or MG2. CNN politics. Read all of this. Look. Read it. You find it hella scary. So, yeah. You know? You must be able to, you must expose yourself so much to life. There's many ways. A lot of time people say, oh, Lily or Aaron, they do their MG1 very solid. It's not because we are more experienced than you, but we are willing to do an extra step, is that we use the resources a little bit more wisely. Yeah. So, Christy, you can share your MG1 again. How long is it? How long is the MG1?
An hour 45.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we're 16 minutes in. Yeah. Ooh-wee. All right, I'm gonna play where we left off.
I know like today we're here to talk about, you know, more about the business opportunity as well, but what kind of got you when I sent you that message? What made you want to, you know, be open to hearing more and meeting up with me today?
Just opportunity. I took a curiosity because I saw that you're a UT student right now.
Mhm.
So I know immediately that you have that same mentality of, you know, wanting to grow immediately, wanting to, you know, pursue something bigger for yourself. So that just, it really is just a more of like a humbling characteristic, just being able to understand that, you know, you're worth more than what the world has to offer. So that's what kind of gave me an interest in what you had to offer.
Gotcha. I feel like honestly, after hearing you share so far, it's crazy, but it reminds me of myself, like when I first started off college, because the book so in high school I read this book, and I'm sure like if you're into trading and you're into like financial freedom and financial literacy, you gotta know this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Did you ever read that one? Yeah, I read that one in high school too, and I think that's why, fresh out of high school when I graduated, I immediately tried to start a dropshipping business. I tried other sources of income, like doing Amazon FBA, a lot of different things. I even tried to do like day trading a little bit, but it wasn't really for me. And like even when I invest a little bit, I saw how much I lost too. But definitely for me, I think coming into college, I was always looking for an opportunity, you know? So I started working when I was around like 16, 17, and my first job was bussing tables, right? But then, man, when I started working, because I came from a background where my family is very comfortable. So my parents are immigrants. I don't know about your family, but they came from Vietnam, which is a third world country. And the moment they came here, you know, they didn't see the American dream that everybody sees or is promised, but they saw the American job. So the moment they came, they hustled so much. And my dad, my parents know English at all coming here, but they really worked on themselves and grinded a lot, to the point where, you know, my dad, he was able to actually go back to school here in the States and get him a better degree so that now he can work in a better corporate office job, right? And he's actually an engineer now too. So he works in petroleum and gas down in Houston. And I feel like if my parents did not hustle, and you know, my mom, one thing I really respect, and you probably, I don't know if you have sisters or your mom, they go to nail salons, but you're gonna see a lot of Asian ladies working at nail salons, right? It's very typical. And one of those Asian ladies is gonna be my mom, right? So when I see her working at like a nail salon, you know, it's actually a lot of physical energy you have to put out, and you're breathing in those chemicals every single day, and they don't really have the time to really have a proper meal schedule and like eating lunch and eating breakfast, because clients are just coming in and out all day every day, right? So I look at my parents and what they do and how much they have to hustle, and I think because of all the work that they put into coming to this country, it really paid off. So growing up, I didn't have an issue with worrying about food on the table or worrying about paying my own things, right? Because everything was given to me, because they saved up enough and they grew our income enough to put us in middle class. And you know, I lived very comfortably. But it wasn't until I think high school, around when COVID hit, that's when I took a step back and kind of reflected a little bit, you know, what exactly did I want to do after graduating high school. And I think you can say that's pretty young to think about that, because you're only 16, 15. You know, what are you thinking about financial freedom? Why are you even thinking about, you know, what's after college? You're not even in college yet, right? Because I think in high school, everyone's just worrying about having fun, partying, or even in college, not a lot of people worry about the future too much. They just worry about drinking, having fun, partying, going to frat parties, whatever, whatnot, right? And I get it too, because I like to have fun a lot as well. So I was like that for like maybe one semester or so. But again, when I decided to work a job, cut off everything my parents were giving me, like started paying my own rent, my own tuition, every single thing, that like insurance too, and I held that more responsibility on me, that's when I realized, oh man, life is not that easy that I thought it was, right? And I started working bussing tables, but I later moved up to better jobs, right? So I started working as sales associate in like a retail store, and you know, I was making pretty good income, honestly, without even a bachelor's degree, right? Because I was still in college at that time, so didn't even have a bachelor's degree yet, but was still making very decent income that was enough to pay for all my expenses, right? So I would say I was getting better, but the thing was that working that job was not fulfilling for me. And maybe you can relate, because I heard you said that, you know, 9 to 5 was not fulfilling for you either. And I think I can say the same way for me, because when I worked corporate job while going to school full time, I realized, man, like I really questioned, is this what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, for the rest 60, 40 years of my life until retirement, right? Because can I really see myself in a cubicle like that? And I actually take a look at my family and my parents too. So my dad works in a cubicle office, right? So of course, like it's nice because you got the AC, you're not out there hustling anymore. You can be in the office and sit down and do computer work. But I noticed that, you know, everyone is getting older. Nobody's getting any younger, right? Especially our parents. And
Right.
I see that my dad, he can't really last long in that office anymore. It's not because, yes, part of it is because like the eye straining when you have to look at the computer every single day, but it's also you sitting in a chair for 8 hours, right? Imagine doing that for like 365 days, right? Your back gets worse. And I know he's getting older, so he's not gonna have enough energy. And I'm like, okay, what if it came to a point where I'm like that too? And I have to suffer now, but I don't have a choice because I know I need to pay bills for my family. I know I have a family to take care of. And I think a lot of my cousins, they're guys as well, and they take pride in knowing that they're like the breadwinner. Like they take pride in, okay, I'm the responsibility to take care of my family as well, right? And if they cannot take care of their family, it's like you lose your pride and ego. Because how are you a real man if you cannot even take care of your family, right?
Absolutely.
So my guy cousins, they even share that, and it's so sad because one time, so one of my guy cousins, he graduated from Stanford, and then he was able to work in Google, right? So a really, really good job, had everything that he wanted, a good school, good title, good degree, whatever. But one day, he broke his arm, and guess what? Because he broke his arm, he couldn't go to work for like a good week, and that is a whole week of him missing out on that income from Google. Because you can't type anymore, you can't do anything. But then I look at that and I'm like, man, like the moment something, like when life hits you, you get into a car accident and you can't even control the fact that your arm broke, right?
Yeah.
Now you also lose a source of income. So how do you really expect to take care of your family now? Right? And that's why for me, I saw the things that I observed the people around me and the lives that they had, and it was just back then for me, before I even read Rich Dad Poor Dad or started to question what I wanted for myself, I really saw, oh, okay, go to high school, get good grades, go to a good college, and then work in the top 4 companies after. Because that's how all my cousins went, you know? And for me, I even had the chance, I was going to go to NYU instead of UT for business school, right?
Yeah.
But I chose to stay at UT because of income, right? I knew my parents, if my parents were going to take care of me, there's no way they can pay for NYU school tuition, you know? But then it really made me a little bit upset, and I realized, okay, later on down the road, when my kids, they get into a good school and they want to go, I want to give them that. I don't want my income to be the reason why you cannot go to this dream school of yours, right? So there was a lot of different reasons why, for me, I wanted to start my own business, and why later on I took a step back and realized, oh, okay, this 9-to-5 life is not really it's not gonna fulfill what I'm really looking for in life. I don't think there's anything wrong with 9-to-5 job or corporate job, because I worked in it too, and I was project manager before, and I feel like it makes good income, enough income for you, right? But honestly, there's so many different ways you can make money, right? And I know that for some people, they actually like working jobs, right? They're okay with sticking to the plan that they have now, and I get it because my parents did too. I see how it paid off for them as well. So I don't think there's anything wrong. But I guess the values I saw in corporate America, or what I was really looking for, what my ultimate goal was, long-term goal, and the vision I had for me and my family later on, I felt like corporate America or working a 9-to-5 job was not going to fulfill it. And I think that's okay, because everyone has different purposes in their life, right? And for me, I think that's why starting up my own business or entrepreneurship was what really fit into the life that I wanted to have. Because one thing that I learned, and I have a business mentor actually, and she told me this and it really hit me, is that the moment you choose your career, you also choose your lifestyle. So for me, I'm a very big family person, and I value spending time with my family, and I want to be able to give back to my family as well. Because if I want to be a real woman with somebody who has values and principles, I know that I got to be able to take care of 2 generations before me and 2 generations after me. But in real honestly, when I sat down and wrote all the numbers about working a job, I felt like, okay, a job was not going to be able to take care of myself 100%, let alone don't even think about taking care of my family, right? So
Yeah.
I knew, okay, I cannot put my eggs in one basket, and I gotta learn to diversify my income, right? And that's why, okay, nothing wrong with job. I still went to school. I still did what I did, right? But I took a look at all the top 1% people, like Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. Some of them didn't even finish school. Some of them don't even have degrees. But what do they know that I don't know yet, right? And I think what I observed and saw was that, one, they had a business, and two, they had a big network, and they have a lot of mentors that can help them out, right? Because actually, when I look at successful people like Kobe Bryant, right? One of the best NBA players. I don't know about you. I don't know if you're a big basketball fan, but for me, I think Kobe Bryant is like a really, like, one of the legendary basketball players ever. But in order for him to get his success, he had to learn from a mentor, and his mentor was Michael Jordan, right? Same thing with, I think it was either Steve Jobs or maybe it was Jeff Bezos, but one of those guys, one of their mentors was actually Warren Buffett, right? So I actually, I don't know if you know that fact, but
Yeah, no, I didn't. I feel like I recognize it, but honestly, I don't know.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know which one it would be.
Yeah. But I took a look at those people who had what I wanted, and I realized one thing they had that I don't have is a mentor, and they also had a business. And as a college student, I don't know where I'm gonna find a mentor. I don't know who's so interested in my success that they're willing to invest into me. And number two, I don't have enough experience or expertise or capital like I shared with you. And those are the three things you really need if you want to run a very successful business. Because most businesses, if they don't have those three at all, like, they cannot even last past the 5-year mark, right?
Yeah.
And that's why you see a lot of small business, they shut down, or even COVID-19 proved to you that small business is not going to work out. So I was looking for a way to run a big business, but every business must start small in order to grow to that capacity, right? And for me, how I define a big business is you got 500 plus people in that business helping you out and, you know, completing whatever mission you want to set out. They also have the same vision as you. That's why they're willing to follow you as their leader, right? And complete that mission. So for me, when it comes to running a business, one thing I learned, and what I learned from my mentor, is that I don't need to be the one that's so good, or I don't need to be the one that is so talented that I know how to do everything. Because honestly, if I know how to do everything, what's the point in having other people helping me out, right? That's kind of like, you might as well just run your own small business then. But then for me, I don't need to be the most talented, but other people, they can do better job than me. They can be even more talented than me, even more smarter than me. But if I can have those people on my team and they can be the one to really, like, and I'm the one with the vision, with the bigger picture, then that's what I kind of consider a big business. So that's why I saw Walt Disney, he was able to do that too. But
Yeah.
aside from that, honestly, that's just a little bit about my why I wanted to really start a business, and why I knew that maybe a certain path wasn't for me, and what kind of values that I carried, to be honest, right? But then actually coming into UT my freshman year, because I already had that ambition, and I knew that, man, I don't want to keep working for the rest of my life, you know, right? I don't see myself doing this for the next 40, 60 years. I was so looking and so ambitious that there was a networking event happening at UT, right? And I know most colleges, they have networking events too. And at that time, the networking event was only open to like juniors and seniors, because those are the students that college is prioritizing right now, because they're about to graduate and they need to be in the job market, right?
Right.
But for me, I was like, I have to get into that meeting because I don't know when's another time. And what made me want to go into that meeting so bad was because I heard there's going to be a successful entrepreneur coming to speak. And I'm like, when is there another time where UT is going to invite another successful entrepreneur to come speak, right? I want to hear all the nuggets. I want to hear all the stories, the advice. What did they have to go through to get the success they have now? So for me, I'm like, it's a one in a lifetime opportunity. I don't know when it's going to happen again. So I better, like, opportunity's not going to come knocking on my door, right? I got to be the one looking for it. And so that's why I actually found out who the coordinators were, and they were actually one of my friends, one of my like classmates, right? And luckily enough, because they were friends and they were really kind enough to even allow me a spot there, because they knew, man, how bad this girl wanted. Like, I would not shut up about, hey, can I get a seat, or can you open a spot for me, or is there anywhere I can put my name on the list? Is there a waiting list? For me, I was so ambitious, because I know that if I don't look for opportunity now, when is opportunity going to come to me? So I think I was very, very lucky that I got on the waiting list. And after they kind of like confirmed who were all the guests, I was basically one of the last 2 to 3 people that got to be on that list, right? And the day came, I came to the networking event and I listened to the speaker's story, right? And what I learned is that this lady, worse starting point than me. So I'm born in America, right? So I have the English, I have citizenship, I don't need to worry about paperwork or anything, right? But the speaker, actually an immigrant from a third world country. And so coming to America, she had no English, right? Her name's actually Misa, by the way. But she actually had no language, no paperwork. So it's in the process of getting paperwork done too. So when she was like about 19, she had to be a full-time student, but also work part-time because her family was not making enough at all. So she had to support and really grow up and take responsibility very early on already. But she shared to us that at the age of 19, she knew that this could not be it. Like, she came expecting the American dream. I think that's why you see so many immigrants here, and why America is one of the most diverse countries, because this is like the land of opportunity. But when you come here and you expect an American dream, but all you see is the American job, right? Your dreams are kind of shattered a little bit, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and that's how she was feeling. But then she realized this cannot be it. So I think she reminded me a lot of myself. She was so ambitious too, that at 19, she found an opportunity to start her own business, right? And I'm like, man, you're 19 years old and you can call yourself a business owner. I think that's very impressive, because at 19, I feel like a lot of people, they don't even think about starting their own business, or they don't even think about the future that far ahead, right? But one thing that she told us in that meeting or in that network event was that if you don't dig your well now, you're gonna start digging your well when you're thirsty. Meaning, if you don't do something now, you're gonna face that problem anyway. And that's why you see a lot of people that have midlife crisis when they're 40s, 50s, is because life really hit them. And they realize, man, am I still passionate about this job? Or can I keep doing this job for another 30, 20 years? And now midlife crisis, I never understood what it meant. But when she actually shared to me why you see so many people have midlife crisis, is because they don't have anything on the side. What if they get fired on their job? And I see my dad, you would think engineering is a secure, good job for you. But I see my dad get fired so many times, and it's not because he lacks the skill set, but it's because we're in recession. So the company cannot afford to pay every single person. And guess what? My dad's one of the senior employees. So they gotta let go of the big dog first, because the big dog is the one that gets paid the most, because they have the most experience too. So even to this day, at like his 50s, he had to still go out and do the same thing like you. Go out, apply for a job again. Go out and do the interviewing process again. And I'm like, I don't want to go through interviewing process when I'm 50 again, and I'm competing with freshly graduated college students who have a lot more energy than a 50-year-old, who need a job so bad, because when it comes to post-grad life, everyone needs a job. Nobody wants to be unemployed, right? It's gonna look so bad on you, but also society's gonna judge, oh wow, this guy's unemployed. Man, how is he really gonna survive or pay his own things now? People are gonna look down. So I know post-grad life, like postgraduates, they're willing to take any job even if it's not that much pay for them, right? But then as a 50-year-old man, you have a family to take care of, and you're competing with students, with people who are willing to get your job with less pay and willing to do more work, right? But
yeah.
I realized, man, my dad can't afford that, and I don't want to be in the same position that my dad or a lot of my friends.
So how long was your story?
It was really long for this case, because in the beginning, I didn't share much for myself. I just asked him a lot of questions. And then the first part that you heard, I didn't even share my story. I just shared about my why. But I think I overshared a lot of different things too. And then that's where, after I shared about my why for so long, then I got into how I met my mentor and my story about the business. So I would say it's long, but if you think I should just skip that part and go to napkin plan, then I think that's fine too. What do you think, Jake? It's long. I don't know how long the time specific, but I know it took a big chunk of the appointment.
So you talk about your family and you talk about job and you talk about business. So what I noticed so I listened to you doing the MG1 for Andrea, right? And this guy, one thing I noticed is the amount that you share the story, it's too much. So it's like you were trying to sell them that, hey, what I'm doing, it's gonna work, da 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 da. So it's like you try and convince them that, hey, job is not working, you should do business now.
Yeah.
So for me, I wouldn't share something too out of the line. For me, I will keep my story related to whatever information I get out from their info. And I can always go back and touch up on my story.
Yeah.
So I don't think he didn't talk, he didn't talk about his family, right? Did he talk about his family, how his family been working, da 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 da, or whatever?
So
No, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
No.
Okay. So that part is TMI.
I have one question, if you can clarify for me too.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think I'm in the gray line where I don't know if I should share it in order to build the person's why, or just share it so they can kind of know my background, or only share, like keep it very short to what's relevant, like very surface level on how I just met my mentor. Don't need to share about my why, if that makes sense.
Well, you always share about your mentor, right. But if when that you notice how I shared my story, right? It's compatible in terms of it's relevant. When you share your story, it always must be relevant to their story. So if they talk about job, they talk about business, then now you talk about job, you talk about business. And even if you talk about family, now you should make it a conversation. Like if you talk about your parents, right? Oh yeah, my parents, they came here, da 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 da. You should ask them back. Oh, how about your parents? Because if you don't have enough information and you keep talking and talking and talking, they will question in your head, what is this girl trying to say? What's the point? Cut to the chase, you know? So when I bring up a point, when I share something in my story, I will make sure that point that I'm sharing, it has to be relevant to candidate point of view. Because if it's not relevant, I'm not relatable, they wouldn't want to be a part of my team because they cannot find myself relating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to come up with many stories. Oh, the one for school, the one for running business, the one for corporate job. So you go side by side, hand in hand with them. Right? So, and also when you share, I think one of the part of communication that if we can work on. So I know cross-line teams, some of the people, they have fillers word, like, you know, or like, or, you know, or they keep saying right. I would say right for certain sentences, but then not the whole entire, because when you say right, or you end a sentence with, you know, or all kinds of stuff like that. It's like you're trying to say the things that trying to fit into their story, or you trying to hit that spot, but you're trying to find that spot for you to hit. But in order for you to get the story spot on, you must get a lot of information out from that. Whatever information they share, you share on top of it about you, and then you get more information, you share on top of it again. So for me, because I don't want the candidate to find myself boring. So it's just me. Maybe every 5 or 7 minutes or something that I talk, I will make sure I remind myself to ask. Or every time when I bring up a topic that not being brought up before, I will ask the topic. For example, I talk about my parents. You know, the reason why I also wanted to do this business, because I saw how parents, they were struggling because oh, how about your family? Have they been doing okay? Or because I'm also wondering too, not many people, they would like to run a business unless they saw something from their parents. You know? It's like, and then now you find more information, and then you relate with them and you talk to them a little bit. Oh yeah, and back to my story. So as you know, that's also a part of the reason why I start my own business. But I was looking around and I saw a job. So instead of making it an essay, you make it a dialogue. So when you make it a whole dialogue instead of a speech, they will remember everything you say a lot more. Wynette it, right? So I talk to Wynette candidate. Every time I share something new, I would ask the candidate to interact back. I won't share anything too extra on top of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep going.
Can I ask, so how can you, maybe I struggle, maybe my deepening is not effective. So it's like, sometimes maybe I feel like I didn't get enough information out of them, even though I feel like I'm asking these questions, but then the story just never seem to align. So whenever
you don't have to be aligned 100%. That'd be so weird. It just somehow sort of identical.
Right. Yeah, because I've gotten in certain situations in the past where if I align too much, the candidates think that I'm fake, that my story is just too aligned with them. Right.
So today I talked to Wynette's candidate, right? So I talked to Wynette candidate about what was that? I remember there's a part I was similar to him, but I was not also similar to him.
Was it the shirt or the academics?
Dang, I forgot. But there's something I share about my personality. I share about my personality was similar to his, but I was willing to get out of my comfort zone. And that part was not familiar with him or similar to him. So every time I share something similar, I would do a little bit of contradicting or contrast to show that, hey, I was just like you, but I was willing to do something different from you. That's why I have what I have. Yeah.
Cùng lost nhưng mà tao cũng similar giống tụi bay, nhưng mà tao willing to do something different.
No, if you don't understand, you must ask, so then I can keep explaining myself.
Right. Okay, I understand that. So Is it the fact that I'm not listening well enough to the candidate, like too robotic, not flexible enough, or what do you think, Jay? For my specific case,
What do you mean?
because I also see that pattern too, even from the last time you gave me feedback on the MG1, is that I share a lot. And some of the things I share is extra and it may not even relate to the candidate. But then I feel like if the story is not relating to candidate, it has to come from how the deepening went. So is it because I'm not getting enough, I'm not asking the right questions, I'm not listening well enough in the deepening, or it's my ability to listen to people, to connect with them, or what do you think it can be the case for myself?
So when you ask question, listen to their keywords.
Right.
In their answers, their keywords. And this is one of the hardest skill is listening.
Yeah.
Listening is the hardest skill. You know, back then I thought listening was the easiest skills in ESL because writing was tough for me. But then now listening, this part is you must be able to get out the keyword. For example, he talked about, oh, I wanted to be financial independent. Circle in like financial freedom. Circle that. I don't want to work a job 9 to 5. Circle that. Now you have to dig deeper about that part. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So everything that they say, pay attention to that keyword. And when they said those keywords, you ask them back to explain more about their previous answer. So now you understand more. After you understand more, now you have more information, then you can cover more. It will be more effective. Okay. I wouldn't go in and just rambling everywhere without knowing what's in their head. I want to know what's in their head first. And then I tackle it, hit right at the spot. I wouldn't go around and trying to think what they're saying.
So is it because my reference point of what a deep answer or really finding, like digging deeper is not deep enough? Because maybe when I ask or I try to ask a little bit more why, for me, I think that's okay, that's me digging deeper. But maybe it's because that's my reference point of what I think is deep. And for you, maybe you know, okay, there's an even deeper reason that I cannot be able to dig through yet. So is it because of that too? Does that make sense to you?
Can you ask again?
So I'm wondering if it's because my reference point, is it because I don't know what a really deep or raw, real answer is? Because let's say the candidate, they give me an answer. Okay, I ask a little bit more why, and I ask a little bit more why. And when I got a couple more answers, I think, okay, that's good. That's me digging deeper already. But what if what I think is digging deeper for you, Jay, if you were to do the appointment, is not deep enough for you? So you will ask more. But what if for me, I'm not aware of that? So I'm not sure if that is the problem too.
So that's why you need more of this. So then you can discuss. There's no way you will know the reference point right away. I didn't know that. And the only way that you can know is you're gonna go out and do a lot more of this and you make a lot of mistakes. Right. And you bring it back. You see, when you bring it back, the recording, now we can recall and we can point out what part that we can do better. That's why we need huddle, play huddle. So we discuss about this and everybody can learn. Because you won't know by yourself until right. You reach to a certain level that you've done so much that you'll be able to diagnose your own problem. But that's for us. When you have enough experience and you go through enough cases, but you're going to keep learning. Unless you have a very good critical thinking, which I'm doubting for most of you guys. Yeah, I don't think I'm wrong, right, Don? I saw you smirk like, damn right. It's like, but so you just gotta keep bringing it back. And you go home after you get feedback, right? You improve your script or your story based on what we give you feedback. You can't just, oh, okay, today I get feedback and then you don't do anything about it. I ask so many people come to me and they're like, oh, how can you do good process appointment? And I keep making the same mistake. How can I avoid it? And I asked this cross line, I don't remember who. She told me, oh, how can I keep making the same mistakes, even though I already get feedback upon it. So I asked her, okay, so after you get feedback, you know what your problem is. Have you sat down to ask yourself, how can you avoid it? Have you listed down the solution to avoid unnecessary problem? Because you've already come across this problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if that helps. So if for me in this situation, I will talk about my previous business, why it failed. I will talk about what lesson I learned out from it. I will talk about why I do business, just briefly. And then I will ask them about their motivation, why they do business. You bring up your reason and you ask them, any of this motivation resonate with them? They share, right? And then you relate with them. And then you go back to your story. You talk about how you found your mentor. It will be, like how Lynette usually say, chef kiss.
Okay, yeah, that clarified a lot. So I think I know what to do differently now after this HPH. Okay, but then do you still want me to finish up the story, or you want to just cut to the point where he's sharing his reflection about the story and then the napkin plan?
You can just share the story. Keep going.
Just finish the entire audio, basically.
So your story is still longer?
I mean, yeah, we're at 7 minutes and it's an hour and 45.
Holy crap, Christy.
So yeah, it's needs to be improved a lot.
Yeah, so I think this problem is very common with everyone, that you keep talking. It's like you're trying to sell them the plan. Oh, I do this because I did quote unquote, or like that, right? Quote unquote. But then when the message is interpreted is, hey, this is reason 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should do my business. If you don't do it, you're screwed. Hello. They are smart enough to decode, crack your code, come up with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So do we just move to the napkin plan and the why and how?
No, I want to hear your story so I can see how much it can go.
Okay. God bless the entire Zoom tonight. I'll continue the recording. Yeah, Kristen!
Who already graduated 2-3 years ago, they were unemployed for a good 18 months, freshly graduating, because they couldn't find a job. And some of them, even though they studied like finance, they got a job that was not even related to their degree. So I had one friend, he studied finance. Everyone says finance is a good major. But then my friend, he didn't find a job after a year, but then he finally secured a job at the DPS, working as like those people who take driver license pictures. And I'm like, dude, like, how do you feel? And he's like, it feels like my 4 years were a waste, cause I worked so hard and I paid money for that degree, but that degree is no use when I'm out in the field. So
Yeah.
I look at that, and I mean that's why when my mentors, or she's my mentor now, the speaker, right? So I'll share that a little bit more, but she actually shared, now it makes so much sense why she said, do something now before the problem hits you, right? Because smart people, she said that they know what problems they'll have 10 years from now, and they'll start having a solution 10 years before to prevent that problem from happening, right? So I think that's really smart, and I think everything she shared really hit me because she was starting something so early on at the age of 19 that most college students wouldn't do, which is your own business, right? And she worked hard, of course, grinding it, like the sleepless nights she had, you know, the amount of times maybe she cried to herself because life was hitting her so hard. Running your business is not easy because, man, like going past the 1 year mark too and having to invest in so much, it's not going to be easy, right? But she really persevered, and I respect that a lot, and pulled through. So to the point that when she was 24 and she was graduating from her master's degree, right, she was actually, so her background is actually in biochemistry and biotechnology. So nothing related to business. So it really showed me you don't need a business degree to start your own business. You don't need that business experience, to be honest. But I saw, okay, at 24, she shared to us that she had a medical job waiting for her, right? So she was actually one of the lucky few people who was pretty set and have a job upcoming for her. But because she had that business early on, it was able to generate enough residual income for her to have the choice to walk away from that job and retire herself at 24, right? And I see, wow, the more money you have, honestly, the more choices you're gonna have in your life. That's if she didn't have that business to begin with, she doesn't have a choice but to accept that job anyway and gotta work, right? And now at 26, she can say that in her 20s, she's gonna put down $1 million home soon, right, in the next year. And I don't know a lot of people in their 20s who can put down $1 million home. And just last year, what's really cool is that she actually retired her mom. So she said, guys, you guys don't know the feeling, but when you can tell your mom, hey, I can take care of you so you don't have to work as much, that is like the best gift that you can give back to your parents. If you really say that you care about them and you really say you're a family person and that you want to take ownership and responsibility for generations before you and generations after you. So I saw like, wow, she's actually a really good role model. I saw she can take care of her mom, and this in the next 2 years, you know, as her business is growing, that income will increase and she can later on take care of her dad as well, right? And I feel like she accomplished so many things in her 20s, right? Because I'm not like Mark Zuckerberg where I can start Facebook and blow up like that. I'm not that talented. But when I see someone so average, so normal, she able to just find an opportunity, and just because she kept an open mind and work hard, not just work hard, but work hard for a long time, right? For a couple of years until she came to the point that she is now, to have the success she has, I was like, man, I have to know what exactly she saw or what opportunity did she meet that actually got her to that success, right? Because like I shared with you, I was freshman in college. I'm working at a restaurant, bussing tables, and tips are barely paying enough for my rent, right? I was like so broke poor, even though I had the choice, I had a back door, which was my family. They could provide for me. I don't need to be doing this. But I feel like if I don't really taste how painful job is, I will never know what financial freedom really means. Everyone can say they want financial freedom, but do you really know what it means? Right? So for me, that's why I decided to live a harder life so that my life can be easier on. Because they say, you know how they say, harder choices or harder decisions you make will create an easier life, but easy decisions that you make will create a harder life for yourself. So I'm like, okay. But then after the networking event, after she shared her success story, I really admired it, and I want to know, what did she find? How can I also follow the similar path that she did? So, you know, everyone's networking and getting to know each other, and I actually had a chance to go up to her and tell her, like, talk to Misa. And I said, hey Misa, I really enjoyed your story, or I really admire it because I can really relate, and where you are now is exactly where I want to be too. Not a lot of people, I see my cousins, they're in their 30s, they haven't even retired their parents yet, right? They're still working. They don't even be able to put down $1 million home yet either, right? So I'm like, man, I really respect what you were able to achieve and the work that you've been able to do, but can I ask, like, you know, any advice and tips that you can give to me? Or is there, you know, what exactly did you find so early on for yourself? And she asked me one thing, you know, when she saw me, she's like, Christy, you know, can I ask, why do you want to start a business? Just like me, you know. She said, anyone can say they want to start their own business, but it doesn't even matter what I did or what I do, because there's so many ways you can make money, right? It's not just this business opportunity that I found, but what's going to pull you through is why you want to start your own business. And it got me questioning because, okay, nobody really asked me that question. She's actually one of the first people that asked me, aside from what you're studying or your job right now, how do you want to live your life? You know, how is what you're doing now going to take you to where you want to be at? And it got me really questioning, okay, school, you know, I feel like it can give me a degree and maybe it can give me a really good job afterwards, but am I guaranteed a job afterwards? I don't know. I haven't seen an advisor really sit down with me and be like, hey, Christy, these are some companies you can apply to. This is how you answer your interview questions. This is how you're gonna, like, nobody ever sat down with me to give me tips like that, right? And I'm sure you're going through the same thing because you're getting close to graduation and you've probably been like running around trying to figure everything out yourself. And it's not easy, right? And that's kind of like when I realized, okay, am I doing what I'm doing now gonna really take me to where I want to be? Because I'm agree with you, Daniel. I want to be rich too. People who say money cannot buy you happiness, I don't think they really know the value that money can bring to you. And okay, yes, money, I agree, like money can truly make me happy, but without money, how am I gonna pay my rent? How am I gonna pay my bills, my water bills, my electricity, my insurance, health insurance? How am I gonna pay those things? So I cannot even survive without money. It's like oxygen, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, when she asked me those questions, why do you want to start your own business, right? Because she's right. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't have to be what business she does. It can be another business. I can get rich through investing stocks too. But why? What exactly am I looking for? When she asked me that question, I'm like, wow. To be honest, Misa, nobody ever asked me that question before. I think you're the first person that asked me that question too. And then she's like, yeah, I know, because a lot of college students at your age, 18, 19, they're not worrying about what is ahead of them. Because a lot of you guys, I was really surprised when you came up to me, because I would expect you guys to be worrying about partying or having fun, living in the moment, YOLO, you know, not really worrying about that. But then honestly, working a job so early on made me realize, yeah, it's not what I can see myself doing long term. So I told her, to be honest, Misa, when I heard your lifestyle now, being able to travel around the world, I know if I worked a job, the job that I currently have now, there's no way I can travel to 5 different cities in just 1 month, just like you, right? If I want to ask for off, it's so strange, but I have to like ask permission. I have to receive somebody else's permission that, oh, I can take off, right? But why is that not my own decision? Because I know if I just make my own decision to take the day off, right, I'm gonna be fired because I didn't even ask somebody else for permission. But then that just shows to me, wow, even that small decision of just traveling, even I don't have full control of that decision. So it hit me, and I shared everything to her, how I felt working a job and what I was really looking for, how ambitious I was. And that's where she was like, okay, Christy, I can share with you a little bit more what I do or how I got to the point and share your tips and advice. But just one thing is that I hope when we do get to know each other better that you don't waste my time, right? And I realized, oh man, she's actually serious. This is not some skeptical lady. Of course I was skeptical because I don't know who she is. She doesn't know who I am either. But I think she has the right to be skeptical of me as well, right? And honestly, what do I have to lose in comparison to her? Honestly, at that time I was a broke college student, so it's not like she can ask me for money. I don't even have money to give to you. The only thing I can put down on the table is time. But she, on the other hand, if she were to invest or give me some advice, she has a lot more to lose.
So I understand Christy mindset. So Christy is trying to bulletproof every single objection, but it's too much. When you call out every single objection, you make people even more skeptical. You get what I'm saying? So you talk about putting money on their table, while the candidate didn't even raise up the concern yet. So now back of their head, they were like, wait a minute. So is it not legit? Is this why she's talking about this? Well, all of this, it can be covered along the way or the end of the process. When you ask them more questions about, when you talk about the what and the how, you can cover about this too. So all of this, you can break them down into small pieces and you talk about it. Because the part of, and I suggest you to make it more precise. Instead of, for example, right? So there are 5 sentences. Can you make it shorter, but carry the same meaning?
Right.
One sentence of that meaning and one more sentence that explain the previous sentence. That's it. So if everything from 5, you can cut short down to 2, it saves you more time. And the candidate, when they listen to it, they will also feel more efficient. Right? So for my story, when I talk about qualified, so I will talk about, for me, I didn't know what I have the potential. To be honest, I definitely, I don't think I had anything more than other candidates, but I know I have the ambitions in myself. And so I always talk about a part of, I came to Phil and I introduced myself and I asked to be a part of his team. Or I always say, I asked to be his mentee and he said he would gladly to accept me, but he told me not to waste his time. That already right there set the stage. I don't have to go around and around and around. And after that, I say, fast forward during the selection process, I proved myself, I earned my way up, and finally I become a partner. I become his mentee. And then I talk about, because of Phil, I was able to gain so many skills in terms of like whatever you share, right? But on top of that, he sat down with me and drew out a 2 to 5 year game plan to help me to get away from my job or to help me to gain financial literacy, financial stability, whatever the word. And because of that, you attach your goal with it. So because of that, I am walking away, or I'm in the process of walking away from my job at what age or in how long. It's going to make it so short, but it's so impactful. And they'd be like, wow, you will create a wow effect right away. Back then, when I didn't walk away from my job, right? I say, you know what? Because I knew in school they would never teach me any of this. But Phil, he was willing to sit down with me and show me the 2 to 5 year game plan. Because of him, I was able to have a game plan and I'm walking away from my job in the next 12 months. Or by the age of, I have an option to walk away from my job. I have an option to walk away from my job. You don't have to say you walk away. You can say, I will have financial option, which I can choose if I want to walk away from my job. Or you can say, because of that, I give myself an opportunity to have for financial option. So for ESL, okay, you're gonna learn to work your vocabulary. Because I saw Cherry face earlier when I say those lines, and I'm like, she's like, whoa, this is so cool. And I know when you show the reaction, this is so cool. Okay, Dante, like, shoo.
No, there's a bug in front of me.
Yeah. I was like, dude, Lily just messing with me all the time. But you listen to Charlie Durso audios. That's how you learn all of these fancy words. It's not fancy, it's just it makes you sound a little bit more sophisticated. Sound like you educated, you know? It's not like you're drop out college. Dude, if I don't tell people would think I finished my BS already. I keep BSing about my BS. People don't know.
Funny joke.
What?
Wait, yeah, I had a question. So I think you can really read my mind is that even when I shared in the beginning of my story, all these facts and all this why and everything, that's also me. I want to bulletproof the candidate, like pull every reason why. But then what do you recommend to improve that? I think part of me is a little bit scared to get hurt by the other person as well. Because I want to make sure that I can control everything, that I have the driver's seat. They cannot hurt me.
So you have the same problem with me, is that, I'm greedy. Okay, I want to keep talking about it so people don't have a chance to say no to me.
Yeah.
But the only way that you can have people to decrease the possibility people say no to you is you let people speak up and you develop the flexibility. But there's no way you ain't getting hurt. You need to get hurt so then you can be immune to it. Because if you are so good, then you are definitely where I'm at already. But in order for me to be here, I can read people's mind. I still need people to speak up. I learned to read people's reaction. I learned to read people's body language. I learned to read people when they share their thoughts. I learned to predict from it. I will not try to predict. No, I listen to their thoughts so I can predict from it. I will not try, because it doesn't matter how hard I try to predict. It wouldn't hit the spot.
Yeah.
You get me or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
So just let them talk. So talk less. Okay, and just be willing to get hurt. That's all.
So you can list out potential objection, and you make sure you are prepared for those objections. And when they raise their concern, okay, now you bulletproof. Don't bulletproof too much. They get overwhelmed. And you fry their brain too.
Yeah.
And then they feel like you are lecturing or you're preaching them. Nobody likes to be lectured. They like to be understood and be interested in more. So the more you let them speak, the more you're in home ground, like you're in your home field. I just gonna let them speak. The amount of them speaking need to be 50% of the whole conversation. So I take 50, they take 50. That's how it should work. So if yesterday, when it's today, right? And yesterday it was him. You guys were able to witness how I address people's attitude or address people red flags. I share my story, right? So I kind of get into the so I was getting in the groove and I was sharing and I asked to make sure that I'm on track. I need to make sure that I'm on track though. And then I asked them about their thoughts and then they share, okay, then I proceed. It's that you go through traffic. You need to go through the traffic through whole green light and there's going to be red light to stop to prevent you from car crash. But then if you keep running and running and running and not running, you won't be able to stop. And when you keep pressing the gas pedal in green, right? At one point you find yourself tired from pressing the gas pedal and you need a break. So treat the red light or treating those pauses as a break for you to catch some breath and for you to find more reason or find more spot for you to keep going in a direction, if that makes sense.
Yes. Can you recommend any audios to listen when it comes to like fixing that? I think maybe it's like a mindset problem. What do you think, Jake?
A technique skills.
Okay.
Pitfall. Let me look. It's from Paul, I think. Give me a second. I'm charging my phone.
It's Nardoni.
Is Nardoni?
Is
Oh,
it
Paul.
In listening by Nardoni.
What was that?
It's Pitfalls in Listening by Angelo Nardoni.
Pitfalls in listening. Okay.
Yeah, let me send to the group chat.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know why? I remember.
You had to listen to it too?
Yeah. Back then I don't know how to listen.
I just know that I have problem with staying calm and listen to the candidate. So I just search up listening on BSM and they recommend that audio, so I click onto it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, by Angelo.
Any other audios or books? I feel like for books, would How to Win Friends and Influence People be a good one for this too.
Yes, that book. And for me, Everyone Communicate, Feel Connect helped me with MG1 a lot.
Yeah, what about questions? How do you answer?
I don't remember a whole lot about it, but let me look for every. Oh, where did I read it? It's not from this laptop, so
This one right here. It looks like this.
yeah. I know that book.
Oh, questions are the answers too. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm asking, is that a good one? I don't think she approved.
And I read this book too. So this is one of the BSM back then. The bomb back then.
Aaron rewarded some people who, when they got the book, yeah.
Some people they get the book but they don't read, or people they read but they don't understand.
Hey, people over here, they in the way. What's the book again? Kill the elevator. Kill the elevator.
Elevator. The elevator speech.
Kill the speech.
Kill the elevator speech.
Can you talk in speed? I'm gonna ask speed.
No. I send it up right now.
Okay, I thought the kill the elevator speech is more self-based.
Speed or speed?
Also help because when I read it helped me a lot.
Is there any more audios you can recommend for like helping with listening or those technical skills?
Because this book, it also teach you to listen.
Kill the elevator.
Yeah. Cause when I read the first chapter of Everyone Communicate, Feel, Connect, right? They talk about the benefits, not the features. Well, technically, that's a part for selling, but I apply in MG1. So here I'm I know I have that book. I just have to be honest, MG1 audio, the BSM by Sugit, if you listen to it, they talk about it too.
Okay.
Meet and greet.
I think the audio, Christy, remember the one that you and I were listening in the car when we took Lily to eat bún riêu?
Was it
MG1?
Basics of MG1. You should listen to it again.
that the one by Sugito?
Yeah.
Because my go-to, I usually listen, I think is the one by Mike Monaco. I don't know, that's still certified for you.
It's still, wait, Mike Monaco is not MG1. It's MG2.
Is it Nafty then? The one
Nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah, it's nasty. The one that nasty teach you is teaching you how to talk, but they don't teach you how to listen.
Right, okay. So I should start listening to more listening technique? Okay. That's why I talk so much. Because that's the only one I've been listening to on repeat.
Here. I want to show you guys this book.
My forehead so bóng so shiny. You're gonna see it.
Sorry, but I love you.
Okay.
Dang is very hyper. You're very hyper. Hyper.
Let me join from my iPad.
Yeah. So that's how you want to adapt to the AV culture?
Because my brain is work.
Oh, there's one more book that Suresh recommend. I almost forgot.
Symbol. Wait.
Skill with people.
Skill with people. This book.
Okay.
I give out a lot of those books, but I don't know who have it or read it yet.
The purple book.
You didn't give it to me.
This one is around $5 or $10 from you. It's very short.
Yeah.
It's just like a few pages. It's so short.
Yeah. We have those books in Dropbox.
Man, I bought
They
like
have
10.
it in SoCal.
Dude, it's the B21C. It's the that's mine.
You guys are the best.
I know you. Cái con ăn cái này chứ tôi.
Ê Trang, sách gì mày cũng có hết mà process mày như hạt vậy á.
Wow, awesome.
Amazing, Trang.
Trời đau đầu quá.
No, HQ, SoCal HQ is so privileged because you guys have all the book in the Word.
Oh, no, I don't even know these books. I'm trying to get them. Gang, are you gonna read it? If you're not gonna read it,
You
Matt.
guys can borrow a book from Lily's HQ too.
Oh, now that I'm gonna promote now, she's reading the book, but she don't read it now. I read it. When we
Oh, here. So in here they will talk about it.
Let's hyper, please. Just hyper, man.
So they will talk about benefits or how you can like listen to them, because in here they will talk about it a lot. So this part, I don't know, but when I read about it, right? It's all about talking about benefits, but when you talk to the candidate, can you bring out the benefits from this business it can provide for them? And you can only be able to give them the benefits that they're looking for if you listen. You cannot talk about a feature. Yeah. So they will talk about it a lot. Yeah. So you see that? They will talk about it. This is one of the books that helped me to master process. Yeah. My brain just got blank. But so that's technically, I find it more effective if I want to learn to listen by reading. Because when you're listening, they teach you to talk more. But when you read, you practice of having silent moment. It makes you think more. Yeah. Okay.
If you have the Google Drive file.
What?
Chị Trâm asked like Riva asked it. Google Drive file.
Oh, so many of them is no longer around.
Not on
You can-
BSM anymore.
Yeah.
Seriously? The audio's not on BSM anymore?
Yeah, it's not, they're not on BSM anymore.
Was it ever burned? Like, did anyone ever download it?
It depends on the talks. So most of them, I think we have them, but what do you guys need the Google Drive of the audios or of the book?
Can I get access to the audios? This
Can
is
we
a
have
net.
to both?
It depends. Whatever the audios that you need, you contact me.
Okay.
I only give the illegal source for the audios that not on the system. I don't want you guys to freeload. Freeloading is for the poor. So, you know. Because I have a lot of illegal talks, but because they're not on the system no more.
Okay, but why did they take it down?
It's not appropriate for the time matter anymore at that certain time. So for example, all of the talk they have and they take them down now. Major reason is because maybe it's not appropriate for this time anymore.
I think something I noticed is that so some people who have BSM Pro on their device, they'll have certain audios that for some reason on my device, I do not have, even though I'm also subscribed to the same plan, BSM Pro. I was thinking of calling BWW to see what was wrong.
It's about the IBO number. How old you are in the business. That will.
Damn. Because there was really good audios like the Prodigy one that you recommend that's not on there.
Really?
And then one with
That's why you should download. So you should download into your device. So the moment when you have it in your device, they won't wipe it away from your device because it's saved on your device.
And then the Magic 7 is also gone from my account. So
you didn't download it, right?
No, I did not.
Yeah. So you should download.
Okay. Leo needs a fish. Okay, so that's my questions for that. So do you think we should keep listening or you want to just go straight to objections, or because I think for me the roughest part in my appointment was the napkin plan. That is something I didn't practice beforehand or try to reteach myself one more time. So that is why that one was very rough. And I'd even listened to objection audio before. So I just handle objection on the spot. So after I listened to Vinny Pappalardo for handling objection, then I think some things I know I messed up, but then I don't know if you want to keep listening to the whole thing or just cut to the chase somewhere else.
I think it's good. People been having enough in their brain. They're fried.
Okay.
Look at Don. Don's brain is fried.
Going for 20-30 minutes.
Quang is like devastated already. Quang just got in for like an hour and Quang already died.
Devastated.
Why? Why are you laughing? You don't think that I know those words? You think I'm that illiterate?
That's not the case.
Come on.
I just thought that your word is so diverse that to the point is funny.
Yeah, I know people think I'm uneducated, but yeah.
Okay, that's what you think.
Everyone here in life said that.
Who said that? Everybody said that.
Okay, next question. Who is everybody though?
But yeah, look at Kareem. Kareem be like, Lily know those words? Hell no.
Hell no.
No.
But I think we're good. I think we all go back and discuss about what we learned today. So if you guys want, we can take like